Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Live Boldly with Sara. Today we're going to be talking about love and dating. And the funniest thing just happened. So it is Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving. As you know, 2013 Thanksgiving weekend, that was when my marriage imploded and everything just went awry in my life, right? So here we are in 2023. I've had a fabulous Thanksgiving 10 years later. I hope all of you have as well. My family is here. I'm going to go join them for dinner in just a minute. But I decided to jump down into my office and to do this podcast episode first. Okay, so it's dark out. I'm walking down here and I start hearing an owl. So I live at the beach. We don't, I personally don't hear owls at the beach. I'm not sure about other people, but me, no, I don't. So I decided to look up what is the Native American spirituality? What is that, the meaning of owls when it comes to nature? As you all know, if you followed along or read the book, Walk Through This, Harness the Healing Power of Nature and Travel the Road to Forgiveness, that's the book that I wrote for all of you. You know that I believe deeply in nature giving us signs, right? And so when animals cross our path, when we have different things happen in nature, when it crosses our path, it's within us to listen, right? And to have awareness of it. And then for that to teach us whatever it is that we need to listen to, right? Whatever we need to hear, those lessons. It's in our awareness to actually find out or to sit with, what is this here for? What is this teaching me? So an owl, I looked it up, represents fearlessness, transformation, and the ability to see what others cannot see. An owl teaches us that wisdom can be found in the darkness just as much as it can be found in light. It also shows how we must let go of our fears, and trust ourselves. Yep. If we want to go after our dreams. An owl is a perfect symbol of the night and what comes with it, which is mystery. I love mystery. Behind mystery is magic to me, right? Like that's like the mystery of life. Oh, there's so much magic in that. Darkness, right? An owl is a perfect symbol of the night and what comes with it, which is darkness. We all walk through the valley of darkness at some point in our life. Do not set up camp there. This is for you to walk through and to learn more deeply about who you are through that journey. And also, an owl is a perfect symbol of the night and what comes with it, wisdom. We find so much wisdom on the other side of our darkest days. The thing is that I truly believe, and I've lived through a lot of darkness in my life, that it's within that darkness that we can allow ourselves to find our deepest transformation within ourselves. And how do we do that? We tap into the light within us and we allow that light to grow and to transform that darkness into our greatest days, right? And who we are intended to become all along. We have so much learning in that journey. And so for me to come down into my office and to hear that owl, and it's dark out, the Friday after Thanksgiving, on this day 10 years ago, is when I had the biggest transformation, when I found out that I was going to be starting down my own journey that happened to be very dark, right? And through that journey of darkness, that's where I found this beautiful version of who I love today, which I love me today. I love where I'm at. I love my work. I love being here with all of you. I love this podcast episode. Like the podcast came out of the darkness. The retreats came out of the darkness. The book came out of the darkness. So much came out of that darkness. And so really pay attention to the wisdom of nature, the wisdom of the signs, the symbols. When somebody gives you a ping, right? Pay attention to that and walk towards the ping because that's your light. So let's talk about love, shall we? Because I know that for many of us, I was just on a call earlier today with somebody who was interested in going on the Grand Canyon retreat, actually two different people. And we were talking about those things that have held us back in our life, the resistance. And I got to tell you, almost every single client that I have has walked through some version of feeling unworthy, incapable, not feeling confident in themselves, right? Having the saboteur, the imposter syndrome creep up, which is what, like 83% of us have experienced that. And so where I want to dive into this, though, is how love starts with us. And I talk about this all the time, right? Self-love is one of the most beautiful things that we can step into. And we have to take those first courageous steps to step into our ultimate confidence with self, to ultimately step into the self-love with self, right? To have that relationship. And what does that lead to? That can also lead to, if we choose, really amazing, beautiful, intimate, healthy relationships with other people. It starts with us, though. And I think that in this journey that I have lived through, that's been one of the greatest gifts through this whole dating experience, too, that I have stepped into, right? Like not being afraid to date again, not being afraid to put myself out there, not being afraid to also break up with people that ultimately hurt me. I had stepped into, post my relationship with my husband, I'd stepped into, when I got divorced, I stepped into some relationships that I needed to step into that taught me so much more about who I am in the shadow parts of my life, that I was like, okay, I thought I learned that lesson. I thought I dissolved that pattern, and apparently I did not. And so those dating relationships ultimately have also led me to a space now where I can step into love again, where I can step into being in a relationship with another human being, also knowing and understanding that I've done so much deep work that even if that relationship comes in, right, and we have those moments of triggers, or we have those moments of difficulties, or whatever they are, that because I've done that deep work with myself, I know ultimately that the greatest relationship that I have is that one with me, and that I will never betray me like I have actually in my past. And so where I encourage you is to listen to the owl. Listen to the owl. Listen to the owl and trust yourself a little bit more. Take those courageous steps forward to step into your confidence, that fully embodied version of self. In one of the episodes that I had with all of you, we talked about, in one of the solo episodes, we talked about what it is to have a healthy relationship. And you need 3 parts to a healthy relationship: trust, respect, and shared goals. In the center of that relationship, though, I always take it a step further, and I say you have to have that ultimate healthy communication with yourself first. Being honest with who you are, being truthful with who you are, allowing yourself to forgive you when you make those mistakes, and just knowing that it's through that darkness that we find that most deep, beautiful relationship with ourselves. I think that, you know, the most beautiful thing, and I've had some pretty amazing relationships out of my marriage, I will say, and I honor and value every single one of them. I've also said some really some not so great ones, and and I honor and value those too, because the thing that I know that so many of us do is that we look at our relationships through the lens of the highlight reel instead of through the lens of the documentary. So, those relationships that came on strong, or, we thought were amazing and fun and beautiful and all of the things, sometimes we forget the documentary parts, which are those dark days, right? Those days that we felt less than, that they made us feel, those relationships made us feel unworthy, that they made us feel like we weren't lovable or weren't capable or whatever it was, right? And I think that when we can look through every single one of our relationships, not through the lens of the highlight reel, but through the lens of the documentary, we can see it for the whole and not just the parts. We can see it for the entire journey. We don't look at it through the happy days of the journey, but we look at it through every single deep day, right? The hard days, the good days, the most beautiful days, all of the days. And I think that, through every single relationship, for those of you that are dating, I think that every single relationship that you have, I would say it's teaching you what you want, what you don't want, what you deserve, what you ultimately how you want to step into the greatest relationship, first with yourself, but then also honoring who you are, not betraying who you are, but then ultimately what that relationship looks like with that future partner in your life as well. Listen to the owl. Trust, 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 trust. And also remember that with every relationship, sometimes we lose who we are, right? We lose a little bit of who we are in that relationship. And though it's okay, like there are parts of a relationship where we also do have to step back and maybe change the ways that we are, right? Like how we live on a daily basis, creating space for that other person. Ultimately, we don't want to lose this version of who we love so much in this moment as well. So those are some of the things that I am definitely stepping into as I step into 10 years out of one of the most incredible journeys of my life. I can't believe it's been 10 years. It just floors me. When I woke up this morning, I got a text from a dear friend of mine, and also she's a former client as well. And she made a comment to me about, thank you for teaching us what it is to live boldly and to step into and not be afraid of that, our power, right? And who we are, and this version of who we do. Sometimes we can be afraid of our own power, and to be able to step into that and live a free, amazing, incredible life. And I still have to do this work every single day myself. There's not a day that goes by that I don't wake up and I sit with, who do I want to be today and how do I want to live? And making sure that I am in complete and pure alignment with me and my values and my true north and my direction. Because ultimately, like I say every single day, oh my God, I say this all the time, when I take my last breath, I don't want to regret. And hopefully, my greatest hope for all of you is that when you take your last breath, that you don't have, we're all going to have small regrets, right? But like, you don't have those great regrets that so many others, unfortunately, they do. And that person doesn't have to be you. You can live in a space of pure freedom, of pure enjoyment, creating a life that is in complete alignment with your mind, heart, body, and soul. I promise you. Listen to the owl. Listen to the owl. Trust, wisdom, and just know that you don't have to set up camp in your darkness. There's so much love on the other side. So with that, we have 2 spots remaining, I believe, in our Grand Canyon retreat. That's it. And so if you are wanting to go on the Grand Canyon with us in January, this is the perfect, most ultimate, most beautiful time to do that. We do a lot of work on resistance, on, living that adventurous life, making those bold moves, on becoming that version that you were intended all along. To not focus on the fear, but to focus on rising above the fray that so many of us really can be afraid to do. It's easy to focus on fear, and it's not always so easy to rise above that fray. And I promise you that stepping into this Grand Canyon, it is one huge step into being able to do just that and so much more. So I welcome you. Message me, Sara@sarahschultenkranz.com if you are interested. And if you are looking for a keynote speaker on making bold moves, I am your jam space girl. I love doing it. And I'd be more than welcome to sit with you and have a conversation about doing just that with your company organization as well. We will talk to you soon. Thank you until next time. And I hope you have had an incredible, amazing Thanksgiving. I am so grateful for each and every one of you.